You are their role model.
And what you do, they will also do.
What they do is what you do is what they will copy. And they are very good copycats. They will copy exactly what you do.
So on this episode, I will be talking to Pauline Kabetu about her motherhood experience and what she knows for sure about motherhood with her 40 plus years of experience. Listen in.
My name's Pauline Kabetu. I'm 68 now. I have been a mother from when I was 22 years. That's when I got my firstborn. I was only 22 years. I have 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl. They are all grown-ups now.
So you started working at 22.
I started working at 19. I was employed in 1975 when I had finished my A-levels, 1974. This is when I did my that is the last time I was in class.
So going forward to when you started working and you had your children, I want to see.
So when we finished school, those days jobs were not scarce. Sometimes you are being taken even when you are in school.
Yeah.
Even when you are in holidays, sometimes people used to work because jobs were not scarce. My first employer was Kenya KCB. I started working at Kenya Commercial Bank. Idasio area. Branch at the computer center. They trained me in computers those days. They used to take us to ICL, International Computers. So that's where I started my own job.
And when you, at what age did you get your first child and where were you working at that point?
I was working at KCB when I got my firstborn. Yes.
How did you juggle motherhood in the early years with career? How did you juggle it, and what took precedence over the other in the early years of your?
So when you get a child, you have to look for a house girl. I used to live in Kibera, Fort Jesus. I employed in one room, at Fort Jesus. It was a big room and there was a kitchen outside. So you employ a house girl. I used to have house girls, house helps those days. Yeah, but now you don't know how to deal with them. You leave one, you send them to the shops, they take what they want and they drink the milk for the child. There was a time I went to work and found my child outside.
For the child had been outside for how long?
I didn't know. I used to work for, that time I was working for Keno. Keno Oil. I used to go to work early at 7 and go back home early at 3. So when I went home at 3, I found Fort Jesus was in the middle. You couldn't get out. There was a main door and there was a veranda outside. So like veranda, I found my son very dirty and a cruel that time. Vile alitoka kwa kitanda, aliwekwa tu hivyo, alipewa maziwa.
How old was your child at that time?
Akaachwa.
How old was he at that time?
I think he was crawling. I don't know I can't remember how old he was then, but he was crawling.
So
he had grown outside. Yet. Yeah.
What did you say were the absent?
The neighbors, when they saw the girl went for the milk and never came back, they gave the child the food, lakini they hawakumubadilisha guo.
What is your journey and your story of having house helps when you are that young? What, the good, the bad, the ugly?
So when you are that young, you don't even know how to deal with them. Sasa they just go like that. They never used to tell you they are going. Like that one, I found she had already gone, and tomorrow I'm supposed to go to work. So from 3, I called the father, take me, I go and look for a house girl. You start that time. So I went to somewhere, Tinganga, I called my cousins, you have a house girl, does she know anybody else who can help me? We went for a house girl. So the following day I left my child with a new house girl whom I don't even know. Sometimes I would even miss the house girl, and the father used to work on shift. There was a time I left him for a week with the baby. I used to go to work and then come back. He was staying with the baby. And when I come, we go and look for a house girl. He stayed for 1 week. That, as you say, those days, getting a house girl was not very hard. But it used also to be a problem. But as you grow, you know how to deal with them, and they don't annoy you. But they are the most important things. When you treat them well, although when you treat them very well, then the house girls are very funny. They are very funny people.
In your early years of motherhood,
Yeah.
and you're also juggling career, what would you say you would advise the mothers right now? What would they focus on? What would be their priority areas as they are juggling motherhood and careers?
Yeah, you don't work forever. You have fixed time for working. It's good to have time with your children. When you leave work, please go home. You will know a lot of things. And your children will be free if you show them love. But don't entirely depend on the house girl. Even when you reach home, you are so tired. You don't want that child to come to you. So it is good to use ample time with your children. Like when I went to Mombasa when my firstborn was 3 years. Even people used to think I'm a teacher because and even schools, don't take your children where they'll be spending most of the time going to school and coming back. My house was here and the school was there. We only used to cross the road. Take them where it's convenient. Even when the matatus were Kigoma, that child can walk home. So when I went to Mombasa, I looked for a place where there was a school next to me. So my children used to hear even the bell when they are at home. So when they are coming out of school, even when they were big, they were saying, wakicross barabara, hata akiambiwa na mtoto mwingine wakanunue peremende, anamwambia hapana. Mamangu akifika nyumbani mbele yangu nitamwambia nilikuwa wapi. Hawezi kwenda. They came home straight, and you stay with them, do their homework with them. Don't tell the maid that wakija mfanye homework na yeye. What are you parenting? You didn't give birth for that girl. That's where they become bad, because anaona you have left your responsibility to her. And most people do that. Even those days, mtu anaona house girl is the one who is supposed to do everything. Ati si ninamlipa. Unamlipa, but the child is yours.
So what are some of the things mothers what are some of the things you would advise mothers to do?
Not to leave all the responsibility to the house girls.
Like what responsibilities?
Like when you get home, show her you are also you are in charge of that home. You don't go and sit, even when you are tired, even when she is in the kitchen, just go and do something. You just be the owner of that house.
Are there things you think as a mother she's the one who's supposed to do and not the house help at all? Specific things that these are for the mothers and not for the house help. Like what?
Like your bedroom. Your bedroom, you should even wash. You should not give the house girl to go and you wash your bedroom. Even if you can't bed, can you take a mop and mop your bedroom? Don't tell your house girl to make your bed.
And
Let her do the children's bed, not yours. You are not Rem. What are you supposed to do? Unatoka kwa kitanda unaacha atadike. Why? That's your bed. And that's your bedroom. That's why I told you crossing your bedroom is not bad. It's good to do it and make it private. It is private that she cannot even wash there. She should not know what you do there. That is your private room. And it should be free. Don't let your house girl wash your bedroom. Don't let her make your bed.
And going back to the children, what are the things that the house help should do for can do for the children, and what are the things that these things are supposed to be done just by the mother?
Like now, no, preparing the children, even when she is preparing them. Can you be there and see what she is doing? Can you sit with your children when they are eating breakfast? If you have time, sit with them, even if the house girl is there. Show that girl you care. Those children are yours, not hers.
Okay. Going back to careers and motherhood, what would you say? Would you say there's a point in time you focused more on career? Was there a point you focused more on motherhood? Is there a balance?
There is a balance.
How
because
do you achieve the balance?
when you are at work, when you leave the house and you are at work, you work for 8 hours. Hakuna ofisi inafanya kazi more than 8 hours.
What if you're in a job where you are required to work more than 8 hours, and sometimes you even travel, or there are those late nights where you work, God knows, till midnight?
But it is not an everyday thing.
But there are times others are required to work most late nights. What do you do in such a situation?
When you work late nights, you are there during the day. Because if you are working on shift like a nurse, there are times during that day you are free.
Yes.
Be with your children, be at your home, and see what is going on there. You cannot tell me you can be home from 7 o'clock in the morning until midnight at night. Even when you are working those jobs you are talking about. It's not possible. In between you had time.
Yes, there are days you can balance, but there are days nowadays that there are jobs that you're required to work extra hours.
Even extra hours, even when you are working, there were extra hours. But it is not a daily routine.
Yes,
that you work extra hours all the time. When you are not working that extra hours, can you avail yourself for your house? What people these days are making a mistake of, that free time when you are supposed to be at home, that's when you want to go out. That's the problem with the young generation. But when you get to motherhood, you forget about going out, so you don't do it on daily. Wednesdays, Thursdays night, Fridays, members' day, those are rubbish. Those are for young girls. And they add up to nothing.
Young girls are who? What age?
The ones who have no children to care for. Okay. Once you become a mother, you have to change. You have to change your ways. Because you are no longer alone. That is a responsibility. So you have to drop one of those things you used to do. And those are the going outs. Okay. Because you can make yourself, your house comfortable. When you go out, what do you do? We just stay with friends, drink, dance. You can even dance in your house. There's nothing wrong with that.
When the children are there?
Yes. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with dancing when the children are there? What dance are you dancing? So you are dancing to the music.
But drinking water and juice, that's what you drink in the house, and tea, and you have a good time with your friends.
Yeah, don't teach your children to take alcohol. Don't keep alcohol in your house, because you have to live by example. The way you didn't give her to somebody when she was in the stomach, hata akizaliwa usimpatie mtu.
At what age would you advise parents or mothers in this case to let go of having house help so that the kids probably start taking care of themselves? Is there a point where you can advise that to happen?
Yeah, when the kids are at least they can even stay with themselves. They can stay at home waiting for you. If you come in time, don't. When they are a bit big, like my last born, when my last born reached standard 4, there was no house girl in my house. They used to come twice a week, Wednesday and Saturday. Because you cannot even teach your children how to do things. You cannot tell your children, Eda ukapike chai na there is always somebody who is making tea for them. You start showing them how to do things when they are young. Boys, teach them how to wash their underwear when they come out of the bathroom. Hata kama hatafua vizuri, mwambie afue. Akiwa even those 4 years, mwambie fua, hiyo ufuliwi fua. Yeye anafikiria ni yeye anafua. But that way ataran responsibility. Hii haifuliwi na mtu mwingine, ni yangu. Akiosha afue. Hata kama hataosha vizuri, you come back later and wash it. But teach them. I have, in fact, she is my aunt. Yeye alikataa kufundisha watoto wake vitu. Do you know the girl got married and was returned? Akarudishwa nyumbani. Aliolewa harusi.
What was she not able to do?
She was buying things from the supermarket the way you do. Hajui, na si ati alikuwa anakataa. She doesn't know how to cook. Sababu hakufundishwa, amekuwa na house girl throughout. Yeye hajui kupika, na si ati anajifanya. She literally don't know. So you are not helping that child when you don't teach them. Because there will come a time you will not be there. What will they do?
So at the beginning and when you got children, are there values that you set out to teach your children that you think, looking back now, have bore fruit?
Yeah.
What did you set out to teach your children?
Like teach them to go to Sunday schools, even if you do that, but don't teach them to go when you don't go to church yourself. Godly things are very important. They will mold your child even when you are not there. What you teach your children when they are young, they will not forget even when they are old. Unaona, even when you are grown up, there are things you are told to by your mother, whether she is there or not, you will not do them.
True.
You will not do them. So what you want your child to be, start teaching when they are young. How does a baby know their mother? Because ukizaa mtoto today, kesho anajua huyu ndiye mamangu. Hawezi kuchukuliwa na mtu mwingine aanze kunyonya matiti yake. Anajua. So people think that children don't understand. Children akizaliwa ako na akili. Ni kukua tu itaendelea ikikua na yeye. So you start molding your children when they are young.
Looking at your adult children now and looking back at the values you instilled in them back then, what would you say you are most proud of and you can see the process has not gone to waste. What you try to instill in them has not gone to waste.
Like the discipline. Even now, even like the discipline, even when they are grown up, they have discipline. And they really want their children to be the way I brought them up. We blame children these days that they are doing bad things, but we are the cause. You don't leave your house at the mercy, don't leave your children at the mercy of house girls and expect them to be people. Or your money. Children don't know money. They don't care whether you are. What they need is your love. And you telling them what is good and what is not good. That's what they need most when they are growing up. Money is not important to them. They don't even know the value of money. They know the value of being loved. They want to be with their mother. They want to be with their daddy. Have ample time with your children.
So children know love is equals to time.
Yeah?
Love is equals to time.
Yes. You love them and it is giving them time. That time you stay with them is what matters.
So you need to have an understanding with your children.
Yes.
And create time for them.
And create time for them. Explain to them even when you are going somewhere, tell them. Because how do you expect them to tell you where they are going if you don't tell them yourself?
It should not be one way.
Yeah,
parents.
yeah. You should
balance.
balance. Have dialogue with your children. I'm going to work. Nitakuja saa fulani. Let them know. So when they are going out themselves, they'll tell you, mami naenda kwa fulani na nitakuja saa fulani. You don't expect them to tell you where they are going. If you don't tell, you just get out of the house and you don't say. What is wrong with them doing the same? You are their role model.
And what you do, they will also do.
What they do is what you do is what they will copy. And they are very good copycats. They will copy exactly what you do. They will even tell you, si hata wewe unafanya hivyo. Na utamwambia nini?
You cannot tell them anything after that.
You can't. You have no words for them.
What are you most proud of being a mother? Looking back over the years, what makes you so proud of being a mother?
I am proud because the discipline I instill in my children is what I was taught. I used to live in Mombasa, my children were here, but what they taught me not to do, I never did. I never did what they told me no. What they had told me not to do, I never did even when they were not there. Something inside me was telling me that's not the right thing. You should not do that. That's why I'm telling you, what you instill in children when they are young, even when they are old like me, they will always remember.
Thank you so much, Mudhoni, for coming to the show. I'm sure people have picked one or two things from listening to you, and you have so much insight to give us. I hope you can come back again and talk to us about motherhood and perhaps any other thing that you will deem fit to talk to us about. Thank you for coming to the show, and we appreciate your time. So mothers and fathers are also not excluded from this conversation. Children equate love to time, so give them time and also have dialogue with them. Know what is happening in your life, in your home. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please comment on the comment section what you have learned today, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, have a good one.